I haven't done this in a while. I haven't talked about some of my crazy, weird, funny, or annoying movie experiences that I have in theaters. I haven't had a new video for my movie experiences in quite some time. And I figured I might as well do another movie experience for you guys just before I get to talk about Proud Mary. Because I still have to talk about Proud Mary. I have to do a movie review of The Commuter, The Post, and now a bad movie that I won't mention because it is the first bad movie I have seen so far in 2018. Yeah, that's surprising for me. January movies normally suck. And it took 9 films for me to finally see a movie that I disliked. This is a decent January. And so the movie experience I get to talk about is when I went to see Molly's Game. Now, there really wasn't too many things that happened during the screening. It is mostly what happened after the screening, which I'll go into detail later. But let's talk about a little bit of the kind of annoying things that happened during Molly's Game. For one, it was a smaller theater. For some reason, that late night, they had Molly's Game in a smaller theater, which is kind of understandable because it's more of an Oscar buzz movie rather than a lot of people going to see this movie sort of movie. It's not some big movie that a lot of mainstream audience members are going to flock to see. So that's understandable why it's in the littler screen. But it also meant that there was a lot of people sitting next to me, and one of which must have just finished shopping with her husband, because there was 2 of them, and this movie was in the movie theater at the mall, and so they probably shopped at the mall, got tickets for Molly's Game, and then sat down next to me, because the husband sat next to me, and he was carrying whatever they bought in this big plastic bag. So I'm guessing it's some sort of coat or clothing, because it was a big bag, sits it on his lap, and he was a little antsy throughout the movie. I thought the movie was evenly paced, but I also like slower paced movies. So it was a little bit more annoying for him, I feel, because he would sigh a lot. This kind of sigh that would happen when a moviegoer is like, oh, this movie's taking so long, and oh, it's not ending yet, and oh, this is so boring. And so he would move around a lot too in his antsiness, and because he was holding the big bag, all I could hear is the plastic bag just crinkling every time. And then he would especially move during moments where there wasn't a lot of dialogue, or it was quiet. But honestly, it didn't take me out of the movie that much. And there was another little incident towards the beginning scene, because the beginning scene, they throw all these facts at you because she's going down a slope and she wants to qualify for the Olympics. And so it's explaining the slope, it's explaining what they have to do, and all the facts that they give in the movie ultimately leads to what happens. It's like, okay, I understand why those facts are there now. Because at the first it starts off with like facts that you think are just going to be random, but it ultimately leads to what happens in the scene. But anyway, as all these facts are being thrown, I had these 2 older ladies to my left. Like the couple was to my right with the crinkly bag, and then these older ladies were to my left. And and every time there was something interesting said in the movie or anything crazy, they would just go, "Oh, wow. Wow, did you hear that? This is real? Whoa." Thankfully, they didn't do that. They didn't continue that throughout the whole movie, but they did for the first third of the movie, roughly, and it was mostly for the first scene. So honestly, not that big of a deal movie experience-wise, but again, the reason why I have this video is what happened after the movie. So I'm going to have to give you a little bit of background so I can explain my train of thought, and so I can explain why I was just so oh my God, I can't believe this happened. So sometimes with our movie theater, especially Movies 10, it's the only chain in my hometown that is actually a big movie chain. It's Cinemark, and I know there's Cinemark theaters throughout the U.S. My other two theaters in my hometown are part of a smaller chain, Classic Cinemas, which is more of an Illinois thing. But Cinemark is a big chain. Sometimes they promote these special cups or special popcorn tubs. And usually it's with, usually they're hard plastic, so they're not like any of the other cups that are sold normally. And normally you have to pay extra for these extra special popcorn tubs and cups. I know I got my special cup, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, when that came out. But when I went to see Molly's Game, I did notice that there was a promotional popcorn tub for Star Wars The Last Jedi. And that's really weird because Star Wars The Last Jedi didn't even come to Movies 10 in my hometown and went to one of the other theaters. But Movies 10 had these promotional big popcorn tubs that were Star Wars. Now normally you would have to pay extra to get these tubs. So either one, the guy that was responsible for taking our order in my particular line either was new and didn't understand that, or two, they had so many of these popcorn tubs that they were just giving them out like they were normal large popcorn tubs. Like, these are not like the paper kind. These are like thick plastic, very special, and honestly, kind of cool looking. So I got a large popcorn with a drink, and instead of giving the normal paper large popcorn tubs, they gave me this, which is, again, plastic, Last Jedi. Pretty damn cool, honestly. So I get it, and I'm like, wow. I don't remember paying any extra for getting this, so I'm like, okay, I got free stuff. I got free stuff, basically. So I'm like, okay. So I'm gonna bring this home. Even if I don't finish all the popcorn, I am bringing this home. I'm keeping. And I noticed like anyone else that went in that particular line also got these popcorn tubs. So that's a little backstory. So what happened on this same night as Molly's Game screening, what happens is I get out, I'm one of the first ones out of the theater as usual. I dump the rest of my popcorn in the garbage just outside the theater, or just outside of the screen, and I'm going to keep my popcorn tub. And as soon as I get out of the way to situate myself and deal with my coat and all the stuff, making sure I have everything, another guy walks out with the same popcorn tub and just, boom, throws in the garbage and walks off. And the funny thing is, I'm stunned and I'm paused right next to the trash can. I see him throw away his special popcorn tub, and it's in the garbage right there. There's not a lot of garbage, and in my head, I'm almost thinking, I should pick this out of the garbage, dump out the popcorn, and give it to either my cousin or my sister who would like this. And I'm seriously thinking that, and I noticed the guy that threw it away is looking at me looking at the popcorn tub, looking horrified that he threw it away, and he's just like, and he walks off, but he kept eyeing me like I'm some suspicious character, because I'm looking at him like I'm seriously contemplating on whether I should pick this out of the trash. Because come on. It's a special thing. You normally pay extra to get these kind of tubs. And he just throws it away as if it's nothing. So, I guess it was an older gentleman. He was older. And I guess my way of thinking, or his way of thinking was probably either, hey, I didn't pay extra. He doesn't know that these are normally special popcorn tubs. And so he probably thought, oh, this is just your ordinary average popcorn tub, which is surprising because it's not paper, it's got this intricate design on it, and you're like, okay, maybe that was his way of thinking and he just threw it away. Or maybe he was thinking logically, he's like, what am I going to do by keeping this? There's nothing I can do with this popcorn tub. It's not like it's refillable. It's not like, it's just sort of like a souvenir. I don't need a souvenir. So that could be his point of thinking as well. But at the same time, I seriously was staring at that trash can for a couple minutes thinking whether I should pick this out of the trash and wash it off and give it to either my sister or my cousin who likes souvenirs for movies. And then I would have got 2 free popcorn tubs. Hell, and if you think that's disgusting, again, the trash can was pretty empty. There was barely anything in it. And 2, it's not as bad as this one Extreme Cheapskate episode that happened to be on TV one time that I happened to witness, where they went to a movie theater. He was going on a date with his wife, and this guy's an extreme cheapskate. Didn't want to buy popcorn or pop because that's extra money. It's crazy enough that he's going to a matinee for a date. And he happens to have he brought his own snack, which is like a banana or something, and she's like, aren't you going to get me popcorn and stuff? And he's like, fine. And so he gets to the movie theater as a refillable pop and refillable popcorn tub. So he notices the popcorn tub and a drink in the trash, picks it out of the trash, empties it, washes them both off, and gets a free refillable popcorn and drink from the theater and gives it to his wife. At least it's not as disgusting or as weird as that. Anyway, thank you for watching my movie experiences. Hopefully I'll have another episode eventually because there is some weird and random stuff that happen in my movie theaters sometimes. Some things that are funny, some things that are annoying, some things that are just plain weird. If you like this video and you want to see more, please subscribe and check out my movie reviews, my movie countdowns. There's some more of these movie experiences that I have, which I think I only have 2 or 3 of them. Even though I've experienced a lot more than just 2 or 3 weird things.